Hi friends, this is Sarah from Crafting and Relaxing. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. Today I have an estate sale haul. I went on Saturday and picked up 4 things, and today is Sunday and I went back today, so I'll show you what I picked up. On Saturday, I was looking in the office area. This was a deceptive house, had a basement, I didn't realize it, and it just kept going. It was a home business. It may have been a daycare or a teacher person. They were clearly avid readers. I mean, there was a lot going on. Not paper crafters. I think they probably were so busy with businesses and kids that there weren't a lot of like hobby supplies. Or maybe they took all of those with them because they just moved to Florida. I don't know. So I picked up this open box of 9x12 envelopes. These are great for Happy Mail. They're also great for making a journal cover with, just like this, and covering it with paper. They add some stability. I will definitely use these. I may have a few in this craft room somewhere. Maybe I picked up at Dollar Tree or something, but I thought that couldn't hurt. I paid $10, and I know this was $6. So I don't know what I paid for that, maybe $1. Then I picked up a Westcott flexible stainless steel ruler made in the US, cork on the back. I love these. When I asked Santa for rulers, I should have been more specific because I like having the cork on the back so they don't slide around. And these just feel a little nicer than the ones that Santa got me. The edges are a little sharper. And you know, I think Santa's not a paper crafter. He just doesn't know. Then look at this. This is called the New Worldwide Postage Stamp Album. I was getting in line at the register and I was holding this metal paper thing. Okay, so 4 sections, 8.5 by 11. That was my 4th item for the day, and I spent a total of $10. So 1, 2, 3, and that ruler. So I was holding that big paper thing. I actually was holding some other item that wasn't crafty, and I thought, I'm gonna get rid of that. I want this, because just my arms were full and there was a big line of people. This was sitting in like a bin off to the side that to me looked like it just had old newspapers in the rest of it. And I wasn't that interested in those, but this was sitting on top and I was like, that looks cool. I'm gonna do a brief flip through, show you a few pages so you get the idea. The book is from 1962. I didn't realize that till I got home. So it has fabulous paper for journals, and it's thin enough that you could use it for ephemera making, and there are stamps. So I just popped it open and went, oh, it has stamps in it. And I liked the pages. It's just cool. The paper is a little thin, but it could be pages in a journal. It, of course, could be torn up. The stamps, I think for the most part, postage stamp people have special adhesive for things because they don't want to damage them, just like us. So I think a lot of those would lift right off. They're mostly canceled. I don't know anything about collecting postage stamps, so I don't know if, you know, this is like crazy that I'm going to do this, but I don't think this is like $1 million worth of stuff. Oh, look, they're falling off. It's just cool. Look at all these. And I didn't realize nothing was marked, almost nothing. So it was kind of a uncomfortable sale for a lot of people and for me because you had to ask. But she said, how about $8? And I was like, oh, I hadn't seen all these pages. I literally had peeked at like 1 and I was like, how about 6? And she was like, okay. And I thought, oh, Noni would be so proud of me. Look at all of these. Then it switches to different countries, and there's stamps from many, many countries. But I want to show you a couple of my favorites. This is Afghanistan, and there's fruit. And then look at, I think it was Czechoslovakia. I remember it was in the C's. Look at these. I mean, if these came with a paper collection, what would you pay for them? At least a couple dollars. Those are cool. They're gorgeous. I think these are my absolute favorite in the whole book. Then there are some that aren't canceled. So I was going to kind of maybe Google those or look them up. Just be sure I don't want to be like getting rid of something that's some amazing collectible item for someone else just because I glued it in a journal. Cool is this? Love it. Lots and lots of stamps in there and fun pages to play with. And then that intro page and the maps. And they're big enough that there's a lot of options for those. So I like that. Today was half price day, but half price day in a place that doesn't really mark things is kind of confusing because you're not passing things up based on price necessarily if they're not marked. Maybe your arms are full. This is everything that I picked up today. And, you know, some of it I haven't looked that closely at. These are name badges. I think they're just more sturdy than regular labels. There were lots of labels, of course, because it was a home business. I just wanted some labels for mailing out journals and for Happy Mail because I think I'm completely out. I was using like small ones and your first name was on one, your last name was on the next, you know, because I like to use what I have. Then this would have gone into the trash for sure. A Thomas Guide, Portland metro area. I thought these pages would be fun for ephemera or journals or a certain color. You've seen me make a birthday card with a map before. This is a little bigger, like the font and stuff, because it's made to read while you drive around in your car, if you remember these. But I think that I'll still use it. And then back here is a street index. Just interesting paper that would have gone on a dumpster. These, I was looking at these for a while and I was like, wait a minute. They call them invitation envelopes. If you're a card maker, you call them A2 envelopes. Fits 8.5 by 11 papers folded in quarters. So this is their envelope. This is my envelope. They're the same size. These have the pointy things. Mine have the flat things. I don't care. Here's some in some grayish. And then these just happen to be in the package. I don't think I want these to make as a card maker, but I'll throw these in with my journal making stuff. And I actually am starting to get low on envelopes. So I thought, well, I need those. Then I was just looking at a bookshelf or a table or something. This is a puzzle, but it's also a postcard. And if you remember, my mom collects postcards. So I don't know if I'm going to open this or what I'm going to do, but I think you take the backing off somehow and you write on it. Your message becomes part of the puzzle. So I think it's 2 layers, and this top layer is the actual postcard. I like puzzles. She likes postcards. I thought, what the heck? When I was standing in line, there was a bookshelf of really vintage books. And this says A Child's Garden of Verses, Robert Louis Stevenson. It is in super bad shape. So as far as book collectors, I don't think so. But I thought it would be fun for ephemera, the images, the text. I just thought it would be fun for journals. I think it's way past being a fancy book. And I kind of like books like this because I don't feel bad about tearing them apart. I mean, literally, I'm not this book's biggest problem. Then I got Hebrew vocabularies. I have been looking for books in other languages. I wasn't so much thinking Hebrew. I was thinking like a language I could remotely read, but I just thought they would be fun on pages to have different types of images in your ephemera or on a page as a background. Very often, especially if you have a whole bunch of those Reader's Digest books, my ephemera doesn't have enough variety in it. Here, the page is yellowed around the edge. The languages are different on the page. I just thought it would add way more interest. And it's not a bad book if you wanted to make a small journal because it's falling apart and you take it and you cut it out right here. I'm actually not sure if the cover's in good enough shape to make a journal out of, but that would be another way to go with it. Today, when I was in the office, I looked around and I had already purchased the big envelopes yesterday and stuff. And then there was a cupboard with paper and I thought, oh, I don't really need any paper. I thought, well, I should look. And there was a bunch of light blue and I thought, no, I have that. And then I thought, wait a minute. Does that say 110 pound? Well, yes, it does. Yes, it does. I checked a couple others. I'll be honest with you, I didn't check everything in the cupboard and I probably should have. But it's 110 pound cardstock. I'm checking to see if I really think it's 110. I think it is. It's not the fanciest cardstock ever. It looks like Staples cardstock, compatible with, but I can use this to make card bases. So cream colored card bases. I use much more white, but we're going into fall and it was an estate sale, so I couldn't really go wrong. I should have checked all the white paper while I was at it, but you get tired. And there were a lot of people in there. Okay, then this was on a couch that I walked past and I thought, yeah, I'll take that. It's super thick. Maybe, I mean, it's probably like watercolor paper or like 100-pound cardstock or something. No, not 100, maybe 80. But I thought, wouldn't this make a cool journal cover? Maybe like this, or maybe a part of it, or maybe right here. And then that's the front, and then that's the back. You might be able to even make two, because this could be a journal cover and this could be if they were tall, skinny. I don't know, I just wanted it. And then this. Okay. There were lots and lots of plans in there, okay? Like community things. Some were in color, some were in black and white, and I'm sure that they will all end up in a landfill, but I thought, I might want to try something with one of those. What do you think I paid for today's pile? So we had labels, we had envelopes, this book, this, the cardstock, the 2 big rolls. I think that's it. It was pretty much all I could carry. I had to carry it up out of the basement. What do you think I paid for that? The answer? I'm going to tell you. I'm not going to make you wait. $2. I thought that was kind of funny because I probably would have paid like, what, $1 for the envelopes and $1 for this book. And then, I don't know, all the rest of it was bonus items. I thought that was good. Part of me wanted to go back in and look around a little once I realized she was wheeler dealing so much. There were a bunch of vintage typewriters in there. That's why the ad caught my eye. It said something about old typewriters, showed pictures of like 5 different ones, and said something about ephemera, which I think I bought a lot of. But the typewriters were way down in the basement. The cheapest one was marked like $65. Then I would have had to go back and forth. It was crowded, and I just thought, I don't need a typewriter. My sister will loan me hers. What am I gonna write? I'm gonna write joy. I'm gonna write have a magical day, and then I'm probably not going to type again for 10 years. I don't know that I really need a typewriter. It was a fun sale, and I texted some friends because they had so much stuff, so many books, vintage books, kids books, you know, hardbound books, paper books, books from every decade, and they were giving them to teachers. So I was texting people and saying, hey, what are you doing? Go to this address. Because she asked me, are you a teacher? I said, no, I'm a crafter. And she said, oh, because we're giving books to teachers. And I was like, well, no, I'm good. They had a bunch of little golden books too, and I carried some of those around because, you know, for junk journals. But honestly, I have a couple in my stash and I haven't used them, so I set them down. The cupboard of shame can only hold so much, and I was really trying to think about what will I use. And this bad boy is going to take up a lot of room in this room. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you're taking time for crafting and relaxing. Bye-bye.